Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be doing the tarot card readings, or a tarot card reading that will open up things for the next week. Okay. As many of you know, starting tomorrow, we are in the planetary phase of Scorpio. Scorpio is one of those signs that is very unpredictable, but also very predictable at the same time through contradicting notions. Okay? For an example, in the light aspect, Scorpio, especially in the zodiac aspects, is, I guess you could say, loving, content, protective, stuff like that. Whereas in the dark zodiac would be abrasive, controlling, demanding, downright repugnant of hostility. So you see, it comes down to the planetary alignment from light position, or how should I say this, dark. Anyways, the zodiacs actually have a light aspect and a dark aspect that any serious practitioner would know about. Most practitioners will only utilize the light aspects, but for me, I like the dark aspects more. Namely because it tells you more about the individual's nature, their true nature. Not just dealing it from one side, but from both sides of the coin. People have a tendency to put on a front of, this is who I am, but once you get to know them, you really find out who they really are. So this reading is going to be for the next week, and it falls underneath the sign of Scorpio. Okay. So I've been deciding what kind of tarot card spread I want to do, and I'm thinking about going out into a good size read for you. And this is going to give you a lot of information. It's going to give you a lot of detail, things that you're really going to need. And one of the things that tarot card readings can do is not only tell you your past, present, and future, but when you break it down, you can literally find out about your topic, your issue, your questions, everything from jobs, love, potential enemies, you name it. The questions are very indiscriminate, but at the same time, if you learn how to do an open tarot card reading, which is what I'm doing right now for you, you will find that a lot clearer interpretations come out. This is because of the fact that there is no biasness, there is no ill intent that's attached to it. And that's pretty cool, because it actually opens things up in a much more pure sense. All right, so why don't we get started? I think I'll go with the Celtic Cross spread. for today, which literally is 4 cards down and 3 across. Okay. So the first card is Judgment. Judgment is in light aspect, and what this entails is the issue that you're going through or what's on your mind, be it mental, emotional, perhaps physical in nature or spiritual, can be broken down into 2 aspects. As I said at the beginning, zodiac signs can be put into both light aspect and dark aspect. So the 2 main things about judgment is the anti-judgment and the judgment itself. Judgment can be looked at as looking down on a topic. On this case, it's looking more of, how should I say this? It's more of the positive attributes of, you're looking at things in a positive attribute of purity. Every topic that you're seeking out, every topic that's on your mind or what you're going through right here, right now, that you're dealing with today, or I should say for the next week, you're going to be looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is where I need to be. This is my own desire. This is, basically what I got to do. Your basic goal setting. So if something goes your way, you're going to judge it as being fair. It's, yeah, I accept this. I deserve this. But if it doesn't go your way, and this is where the anti-judgment comes into play, is you're going to get pissed off. You're going to get depressed. You're going to get into that woe is me lineup of, how should I say this, emotional duress of, well, that's a kick in the balls, or that's a kick in the proverbial teeth. Okay. And what's interesting about this is when we look at both the positive and the negative attributes of a reading, you're going to see the potential outcomes, and each card only has a portion of it. So in light aspect, judgment is about the positive. Okay. And that's the judgment card. Okay. Now it's in light aspect, which means that you're going to have a good, healthy look at what's about to happen. And you're going to be judging each topic with a certain perspective of positivity. Okay. Which is very awesome. The next card is the Hermit card, which is also in light aspect. Okay. And the Hermit deals with individuality, loneliness, deals with a lot of things on the anti-socialism of your job, your life. Could be because you're single, or the fact that you like working by yourself. Perhaps you're a truck driver, a mail courier. You're responsible only to yourself when you're in this type of position. And in a lot of cases, the Hermit card is revealing the nature of who you are and what you're about. Okay. Whereas in shadow aspect or in dark tarot would be classified as unhealthy commitments. Okay. In this position here, the light aspects, it's showing you that you're living that healthy lifestyle of, you're content with your solidarity. You're content with who you are and what you're doing, what you are about. And you're not really paying much attention to the drama or the chaos outside of your life. And this attribute, in this case here, you prefer to be the hermit. You prefer to be solitary. Okay. The next card is the Six of Skulls. Skulls is based off emotion. It is based off different levels of emotional pains or exercises, I guess you could say. And what's interesting here is not only is it in light aspect, but it's showing you the astrological signs. Okay, which is very, very interesting here because the fact that it's dealing with a skull. The skull means spiritualism as well. So it's kind of like that dual nature. On one aspect, you're dealing with emotion, but on the other hand, it's spiritual in nature. Perhaps you're having an epiphany of enlightenment, which spirits are trying to guide you towards, and you're very your how should I say this? Your acceptance of this fact is what makes this a positive influence in your life, because on this level you're dealing with wisdom. Okay, it is the wisdom because you have the wolf, which is not only a pack hunter, but you're dealing with the wisdom of that wolf, that solitary wolf. Okay, and a solitary wolf literally will use instinct, wisdom. Okay, much in the same way as a coyote, instead of being the pack hunter. Okay, and what's interesting here is the fact that you're not only is it divine or spiritual in nature, but it's also tied into the emotional state. A lot of people who get into a situation where they have to judge things from a logical point of view, an emotional point of view, or a physical point of view, okay, and have to make plans, have to do things on your own, okay, which is what these first three cards are literally representing. Okay. Number one, you're dealing with a situation which you have to literally and figuratively look at it with an objective mind. Judge each section of it by peering at it from different angles. This is called judging a situation. Okay. Is it worth my time? Okay. What are the benefits that will benefit me during this time? Okay. These are things in judgment that you're going to have to come up with. Okay. And you're going to have to look at. And as the hermit states, solidarity. Solidarity is a way for you to not only find yourself, but to find out what you're capable of doing. And it's also going to be tied into emotional, stresses, because any of us who's been single for a long time or have to do things on our own so much of the time, it gets frustrating, it gets boring, but at the same time, you just want to end it in a lot of different ways. Okay. And it really ties into that healthy emotional state, which literally will drain you of your positive energies. Okay. So you really watch out for that because of the fact that you want to use wisdom in any given situation for this next week, because it is going to be tied into spiritualism. It could be faith. It could be something to do with the spirits. Maybe the gods are trying to guide you in a certain way, perhaps for that new promotion at work, maybe to find somebody of like-mindedness to spend your life with, to get to know in a romantic sense. Perhaps it's just telling you it's time to de-stress, okay, which is basically what the Hermit card indicates is, you're solitary. You want to be by yourself for a while and just contemplate on things, judge every situation, kind of de-stress. All right. And then the next card, ironically, is because I brought in the romantic aspects is the Lovers. Okay? The Lovers card is in light aspect. This card here deals with pains. Oh, I wouldn't say pains, but more of the fact that it deals more with emotional commitments. Okay, perhaps you've been in a good sized relationship. You parted on your own ways. You ended things on good terms, but you're still friends. Okay, no matter what, you're gonna be there for that person. Or perhaps you're contemplating on getting into a new relationship. Okay, this coming week. Now, a relationship is not just a physical relationship or an emotional trip down new memories, a road of new memories, but it can also indicate work. It could fit into things such as romance, perhaps a new thing of love, something that you love doing. Okay, like the arts, the practices, witchcraft, religions. That's magic. Got to be in the center of attention. But anyways, she the Lovers card can indicate a lot of different things. Okay, maybe you're getting ready to get into a new path working where you're dealing with, say, for example, a goddess, going from, say, Hecate to Isis, perhaps Isis to Frey. Okay, you see where that goes, and you because the rose indicates the god or the goddess, and the love for that type of being. Okay, and it doesn't just indicate romance, especially nowadays where women like roses, they like flowers, they like chocolates, they like to be paid attention to and felt like they're needed. Okay, and that's basically what the Lovers can indicate to you. It's just that new journey. It's that new path working, something that is a commitment wise. And that opens up the way for the next card, which is the Star. The Star is in shadow aspect. Okay. Now, the Star represents nocturnal light. It represents the infinity of everlasting light. And as we know, from astrology, stars move through time and space. A star can burn out. It can ignite and create something new. Okay, it can give way to something new, perhaps a black hole or a blue giant, a gas giant. Something that brings life to something. It could be a planet. An asteroid field, whatever. It's that creation aspect of nocturnal light. Okay, but in this case, it is the nocturnal. It is the dark essence of it, the shadow aspect. And what's interesting here is that it stands for the anti-light. Okay, so therefore, that light, that star, is not really going your way. It's not going to be going your way. It's not going to be shining in your world. And the funny thing about this is that you're dealing with a fallout of some sort. It could be, friendships breaking up. It could be perhaps your marriage, you and your girlfriend or boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever is separating. But the fact that in witchcraft, a witch can be, or a sorceress could be in the background guiding you. Okay. And this indicates that something is going to happen, that somebody is going to try to steer you into the wrong path. And because it's in shadow aspect, shows me that you are going to most likely follow that path. Okay, that false lead, that false dead end road, that road that literally ends up in a dead end street. Okay, where the pavement ends, there's woods, maybe a cliff, whatever. Okay, and this is something that's very interesting. I'm going to show you this again, and I'm going to show it to you in light aspect. Look into the background, just over the right shoulder. You're going to see that individual just standing there in a cloak. Okay, it could be somebody that's in your life that is trying to toy with you, trying to cause mischief. And the anti-light really discerns what you're going to get into there. Okay, so pay attention to details. And remember, you got to judge it. The first card is judge. The judgment. So make sure to judge any situation clearly with an objective mind. Okay, it's okay to sit there and to think, but don't go into the dark aspects of the Scorpio this week, because of the fact that you don't want to be abrasive, you don't want to be controlling or demanding. Okay, because once you start getting into that demanding aspect, especially once you hit the aspect of the star and shadow aspect, that's really going to mess with you. The last card is the Four of Grails. Okay, the Four of Grails touches on a lot of different things. Not only is the Grail similar to that of the Holy Grail, the cup of life, but in this how should I say this? In this case, it's dealing with the essence of life, feeling that freedom, feeling that the energy is being given back to you. Okay, which also indicates that due to all the positiveness of this next week and that one little negative moment, it shows me that it's only temporary, because of the fact that you're gonna hit that brick wall, where something or someone is going to tap or zap that energy from you. Anton Szandor LaVey, in his Satanic Bible, named it quite well. Not all vampires suck blood. Okay. Michelle Ballinger wrote about psychic vampires. Okay, in her book, the Vampire Codex. Okay, and what's interesting here is that both of these two individuals, these two authors, talk about what is known as psychic vampirism. Okay, and now that we've gone into this last card, it shows me that not only is this the individual that's going to try to hinder you, let's just say this individual needs to be thought of as a leech. Okay, someone who will latch onto you much in the same way a leech would, and drain you of your energy, your chi, your katra, your life essence. Okay, and this is one of the things that goes along with the Hermit. It's because the Hermit knows what to do. It's that wisdom, that understanding, that because of all the solidarity and the emotional ties of being solitary, you really understand that with a clear, objective mind of what you're capable of doing, but you also see what's going on in the world. Okay, and it's like you don't want no part of what's in the world. Okay. But at the same time, you really just want to stick to you and yours. Okay. Because that's what's going to inevitably be your benefit in this coming week. Okay. So the fact that the Four of Grails literally is about the feeding process. Okay. About giving back that energy and getting that energy back to you. Okay. It's that give and take with the universe. You want to send, you want to send out all that negativity out into the void, out into the wasteland, the ether. And as one of the ways you can do this is to meditate. Focus on your breathing. Kind of just roll your head back and forth a little bit. Stretch. Kind of just take a breather. Focus on your breathing, and look. Just every time you breathe in, think of all the positivity of the universe coming into you, and as you breathe out, you can feel yourself relaxing. You're feeling all that negativity just going out into the world. Okay, and in this case, you're rejuvenating yourself. Okay, and this is what the Four of Grails literally means. Is that it's that rejuvenation factor. You're getting rid of the old. You're taking in the new. Okay, and you're preparing for your next step. And that's what this coming week is about. Okay, it's so I'm going to break it down to you right now about this entire reading. First, look at every option. Look at every aspect of this coming week and what's about to happen, what you're going to be going through. Figure out, okay, this is where I am. This is what I've got coming up. What's the best way to handle it? Right there, you're judging the situation. You're looking at it from a hermit's point of view, with the veil pulled back. You're looking at it through both wisdom and spiritual nature, but also the emotional ties to it. Okay? Within family situations or work situations, it's something that you love doing. It could be the fact that you're dealing with a lover who is, how should I say this? Wow, Benghazi. That's a good place. I've heard it's beautiful at night, Alexander, especially the city life. But welcome. This particular, the lovers can indicate, dealing with a hostile lover, perhaps a partner that is very, how should I say this? Abrasive, rash, maybe a control freak in some cases. But at the same time, because the lovers are in light aspect, you're dealing with somebody that could be um, loving, caring, nurturing. Okay. Same thing with work situation. It's something that you love doing. It could be something that, what I'm saying, it could be something that's going to benefit you, but you got to think it through. The star, the leech aspect, okay, and shadow aspect where it's taking from you. It's going to be like a leech zapping the life from you like a psychic vampire. And then you have the Four of Grails, the rejuvenation factor. Okay, so when you look at the week coming up, starting tomorrow, look at what you got to do. Look at what's coming up. What appointments do you have? Are you going to be spending time with family? Are you going to be spending a lot of time at work? Perhaps entertaining friends. Okay, perhaps business meetings. We all know in work there are some people in some situations that feel like it's zapping the life out of you. Okay. So I mean, you really got to take that into consideration as well, both physically, but also mentally. And that's the reading for the next week. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions about that, feel free to message me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. And I will get back to you. When I'm at work, my cell phone is off. But I will get back to you. So with that said, I hope it's been enlightening. Hope this reading helps you in the week to come. And with that said, well, Alexander, I tell you what, while I'm right here and I just did the reading for the week to come. Most of the reading I just did, Alexander, was a very positive reading. It tells me that a lot of good things are coming to the populace or those who it's supposed to touch. But it also described one instance where there's going to be a negative aspect. Could be a draining of your essence. Could be something about it could be something about, as you just said, finances. It could be a business meeting where you might lose your job or you might be gaining employment. But someone's going to try to hinder you, and it's how you deal with that will rejuvenate you in the end. You know what I'm saying? So why don't I just do a quick reading here? I'll do an open read for you. It will be a 3-card read. And hopefully it'll give you the answers that you're looking for. Okay? So yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, Alexander. All right, Alexander. The first card is the Tower card. Okay? The Tower card is in shadow aspect. Okay? The Tower, how should I say this? The Tower card is about reconstruction. Okay? For anything to be created or to be built, you must first destroy. Okay? To destroy something gives way or paves way for something that you are going to create. Okay? Now, because it's about finances, this means basically you have to get rid of something or to destroy something to actually get it and to get what you're looking for. Okay? In this case, it's in shadow aspect, and that tells me that you haven't quite gone through everything yet in the past. In a past situation, it is something that has been overlooked, perhaps not taken care of, not dealt with. And it's something that you really have to pay attention to because of the fact that it can come back and haunt you in the end. In this case, because of the fact that like a lot of pain, like a lot of things like, say, for an example, let's say, for an example, you have a criminal record. Okay, let's say, for example, um, you're known for being a thief. Okay, and you haven't really dealt with your past and come to terms with it and get that record expunged, okay, from your public record. um then what this entails is that it will come back and haunt you, especially if you're trying to get a job that deals with money, like say for example working at a bank, perhaps the treasury, okay, perhaps a business where you're a manager, you're applying for a manager position, okay. This can really affect that type of outcome, okay. So by dealing with it and actually getting ahead of that and confronting it head on, you're basically putting it to death, and you're starting to create a new. And you take for an example a safecracker. Okay, a safecracker has a unique skill that if they've gone to jail, they've how should I say this? They've paid their dues to society, okay, and to the state or to the country or whatever, depending on where you are in the world. Then one of the ways that you can benefit yourself is to get a job where you can actually use those skills to benefit yourself career wise. Because a lot of companies, especially security companies, would hire a former safecracker, a former thief, to help benefit their company because of the fact that you can show the weaknesses of both the safe and a security system. Okay, for a couple of examples. And this is the type of thing that I'm talking about when I talk about the tower card. Okay, you really have to destroy that situation or that topic before you can create a new and pave the way for the present. But at the same time, the past is what's made you who you are today. And that's something that is very important that you really need to understand. Just because you had um, a hard time in the past doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that it's made you who you are for today. Okay. Um, oh, cool. That shows a lot of initiative, but it's something that a lot of people can respect, especially if you're doing journalism or, say, for example, reporting news. Okay, a lot of people think of reporters as being leeches and overall pests, but if you do your job right and you do it with facts and actually back it up, you can actually build something out of it. Which is why your present card is the Seven of Grails. Okay. All right. So this is the Tower card. Okay. The Tower card was in shadow aspect. The Seven of Grails is in light aspect, which is good because it shows me that you've faced a lot of things, a lot of turmoil, a lot of hardships, and now you're getting ready to deal with something new because of the fact that not only does the Seven of Grails discuss things of life, but it's more of the divination bowl aspect. The bowl, the scrying bowl, where you're able to peer into things, your experiences, where you are today, and where you want to be, the past, present, and future type aspect. Okay. And what's interesting here is the bowl of blood in front of her, and she's peering down into that bowl. Okay. This tells me that you are seeking out earnestly ways of benefiting yourself and your family. Okay. And this actually brings us to the third card, the future card, which is also in shadow aspect. and it's called the Ace of Grails. Okay, and it looks like this. I'm going to flip it over here so you can actually see it. It's the first major card in this suit. Okay, now the Ace of Grails deals with the overall emotional status of what you're going through and what you're about to go through. Okay. But you got to remember that the Grails are more about life and death. Pick the wrong one, you die. Pick the right one, you live. Okay. Think the movie Indiana Jones, The Cup of Life. Okay. Prime example right there. If you're brass, okay, and you just rush into it and just without thinking things through, you're going to grab the wrong cup and it's just going to be disastrous. Okay. But if you think about it and you take the road of prudence, it's going to get you a lot further because you're going to choose the right cups or the right cup. Okay. So what you really need to do is take a step back and contemplate the path in front of you. You really want to take that notion of, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I'm doing, and this is where I want to be. Kind of just maneuver yourself through that minefield with an objective thinking process. Much like in the last reading, the open reading for everybody for the week, or I should say, the age of Scorpio, through the horoscope or the zodiac of the Scorpio aspects, the attributes of Scorpio. Okay, it deals with a lot of things. Number one, you're judging your life. You're judging what you need to do. You're judging about the plans that you've put forth. And most of all, you're judging the paths ahead of you. Okay? You're taking the path of the hermit. And you're taking on this responsibility yourself. So by doing this, you get to act with two forms of thought forms. First, look at it from this perspective. Can I afford this? And two, what stages do I need to take? What steps? Okay? If you can afford to do it, and it's something that's going to benefit you, take that step forward. This is in shadow aspect, which would also be classified as the dark zodiac, the dark aspects of your world. Okay? Which means that you're not really thinking about the future and the long-term goal. Okay? You're basically thinking more about now. Okay? You're thinking about the now. You're thinking about the past. You're thinking solely about right now and your most immediate attributes. Okay? What's going to benefit you now? Like, think of the analogy of a drug addict. Okay? The only thing a drug addict can think about is that next fix, that next shot, okay, that next hit of that specialized drug, okay, just to get high, to feel that intensity once more, that feel-good moment, okay? So, like that analogy, that's basically what you're doing right now, is just thinking about that quick fix. But if you can learn to be objective, take that step back, just one step back, and just look at the road ahead of you, you're going to see a much bigger, a much broader picture. Think from the, say for example, I'm going to quote from the 21 Satanic Points, okay, which would fit this analogy. Okay, this reading right here, Alexander. Build upon rock, not upon sand. Build not for today or yesterday, but for all time. Okay? Look at what you're trying to build, what you're trying to create, and then open it up, expand it. Find the steps. What are the steps that you have to take? How are you going to do those steps? And can you actually afford to do them? Okay. What are your long term goals in this area? Okay. These are the things that you need to pay attention to better yourself. Now, a lot of people, when they get a reading like this, it's going to be disheartening because number one, you've got the first card and the last card are in shadow aspect. Okay. That's a negative point of view right there. The middle card is in positive, it's in light. But what people don't understand about tarot card readings is that just because it falls into shadow or light aspects doesn't mean it is a bad thing. It's just simply showing you what you're doing, but also what you can be doing. It's showing you what you're lacking and what you need to do to prosper. Okay? And that's something that is enlightening in itself. And I just noticed you just posted that word, which is kind of interesting and ironic because I was just thinking about that. The enlightening aspects of a tarot card reading will show you a bunch of different angles. The more cards that you have out gives a much broader picture. The lesser, the more harder it is to see the future or to see the outcome of the question or the topic at hand. Okay. In this case, I did a simple 3-card reading and I showed you exactly what you have done, what you're doing, and what you need to be doing for the future. Okay. So contemplate on this, look at what you're doing, what you're going to be going through, and kind of just see if it's worth your time. Are you able to afford it? Are you able to apply it to your life? And what steps are you going to be taking to get it to go your way and to be there for all time and not just for this here and now? All right. And that's basically your 3-card read, Alexander. And you're welcome. And with this is something new that I've decided to do is once a week. It's going to be on a Saturday. Every Saturday, I'm going to be doing a different, a weekly tarot card read, and they will help you for the following week. But if you do want to have a personal reading done by me, feel free to shoot me a message. Do a message on either here, on my YouTube channel, one of my videos, or perhaps under Messenger on Facebook. I'll definitely do a reading for you. So, and I don't charge anything because to me it's all about the arts. It's something that I like doing as a career sorcerer. So, but that's the 2 readings for today. One's a personal read for you, Alexander, and the other one's for the populace of the world. And as I said, I hope it's been intellectual. I hope it's been educational. And until next time, this Dark Sorcerer is out. Have a good night. And have a good one.